Large-scale, real-time tactical battles, that is where it's at. However, it seems to me that Total War is the owner of this specific niche genre. And if you were let down by Pharaoh, perhaps you're looking elsewhere for that feeling of being the mastermind behind your empire and its great victories on the fields of glory. Here, I'll give you some options on where to look while you're waiting for that special game. I'll start with Knights of Honor 2 that was released in 2022. It's a grand strategy RTS game set in the Middle Ages that allows players to fight their battles in a Total War fashion. The scale and simulation aspects are simply not on par with Total War, but I think it's worth mentioning as it follows a similar campaign battle formula, and despite their much more limited scope, the battles can still be engaging and fun. The second game isn't really trying to do what Total War does. Mount & Blade Bannerlords is a role-playing game at heart, being a strategy and tactics game on the side. This side, however, isn't that far, as the real-time battles are the main draw of the game, at least for me. You control your character and can issue orders to the troops in your party, effectively taking part in battles of up to 1,000 models. This can be extended with mods, and there is even a mod that allows you to control your units in an RTS fashion. If you're going to give it a go, I also recommend the Realistic Battles mod that slows the pace of the battles by changing a lot of the stats on equipment. Next on our list is Paradox Interactive, and I know exactly what you're thinking, but Paradox doesn't have large-scale real-time tactical battles. And that is where you're absolutely correct. It doesn't. But there is a mod for Crusader Kings 3 called Crusader Wars. It essentially combines CK3 and Attila, allowing you to fight your battles in the latter. There is also a Game of Thrones mod in CK3 that supports the Game of Thrones mod in Attila, to very much the same effect. To be honest, I am not sure why I haven't tried this one yet, and it is probably because I'm a bit scared of how complex the campaign is in CK3, and it will require a huge amount of time to dedicate in order to learn how to play the game properly, but I'll end up trying it at some point, that is for sure. This is amazing, a deep campaign and the battles of Total War combined. What a dream. Now, I know this game doesn't have a campaign to my knowledge, and it's set in the present. This is Broken Arrow, a large-scale real-time tactics game where you control modern units from artillery to helicopters. I simply love watching these kinds of games due to the sheer destruction, and I believe any Total War player who enjoys Modern Warfare will likely love this game. There is one caveat though. This game is only coming out in 2024. In the meantime, if you like what you see here, there are other games like this, like the War Game series will get the job done just as well, or perhaps you might want to check out the more modern Warno. Those are all brilliant games in this sort of genre. Ancient Warfare: The Han Dynasty seems to be an attempt at remaking a Total War 3 Kingdoms. Legend of Total War streamed it for 4 hours. If you want to see more of this game, just check out his stream. It doesn't look amazing, I'll tell you that, but it's only 15 euros right now on Steam, so if you check Legend's stream and like what you see, the price tag isn't too high. Other than that, it does the classic Total War stuff. You recruit units and you send them out into the world, and then you have battles, you know, in a pretty big scale, and yeah, that's pretty much it. It's not a copy of Total War, but it's close to Total War. It's just not as good in my opinion. I also want to tell you about Nobunaga's Ambition now. I haven't personally played it, but I have watched quite a few videos of gameplay to understand what it really is. Nobunaga's Ambition is set in ancient Japan, and it allows you to pick one of several time periods and a daimyo or a clan in each of these time periods. Instead of having these detailed real-time tactical battles, it focuses more on the macro aspect of managing your forces and logistics. You won't control a unit of spears or bows, instead you'll control a regiment with different types of soldiers. This game also has a strong focus on clan, castle and population management, with the goal being to become the shogun, all the while keeping your population and assets stable. It seems to be a fairly interesting game. It's just not really Total War, but it might scratch some of that itch. Finally, I'll get to the most anticipated game of all. This is Manor Lords, developed by Slavic Magic and planned for release in April 26th of 2024. If you haven't heard about it until now, welcome to civilization. How long have you been under that rock, huh? Well, Manor Lords is a city builder that will see you lead a small village into a prosperous, powerful city, do diplomacy with its neighbors, and when all that fails, lead your armies into battle. It will feature real-time tactical battles with what seems to be total war levels of detail, featuring morale, terrain, fatigue, and all of that makes for a great simulation of medieval warfare. And what's best is that you can actually equip your own retinue. That is very exciting for us Total War heads, and I am definitely on the hype train. I want to end by saying that it's obvious that most of these games are not necessarily competition, but they might scratch some of that hitch until we get a new proper large-scale real-time tactical battle game with a decent campaign to back it up. Which of these games will you try next? Will you try any of them? Let me know in the comments below. I have been Wolf, and I'll see you on the next one.